Here we go in a rematch of Super Bowl 48. The Seahawks and Broncos are underway. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Going to give this time to the tailback. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Yo. Good job right there. Mike 51.
From the gun, it's Wilson. It's complete to Jerron Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a 1st down.
Good. Hopper. 51's the mic. I'm coming.
Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the 1st quarter.
Too many ones in this play. 1st quarter, 1st drive, 1st interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. 1st carry for Royce Freeman. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah. On the draw, this will be Freeman. And Freeman lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
2nd and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. Carson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson, 46 yards. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Flacco looks to throw. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there. Passing play. Flacco. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And again the footwork. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. On 1st down, right back to Lindsay. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Flacco. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down.
Recon, 132 fighter.
From the gun, Flacco toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking to get it to Phillip Lindsay there, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run with Lindsay. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
The Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation. Now Flacco. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this 2nd quarter.
Y'all playing the wrong football.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. Lock gonna go on 4th down. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded. But there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they look pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skill players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation, went to Arizona. Everyone excited about it. And I think his team remains excited about his prospects. They're eager to see him play. He became the starter as soon as he was drafted. Daniel Jones, that was a different situation in New York. The fans weren't real excited about him coming in, but the reason they drafted him has a similar demeanor and talent to Eli Manning, and he's acquitting himself quite nicely in the early going. And Dwayne Haskins a little more up and down in Washington, but they love the big arm of this guy, and he's back at home. Remember, he grew up in Potomac, Maryland.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He'll rifle this one deep right side, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon, and no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. Taking on the midfield logo. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Locke. Steps away to his left. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver 1st down. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. Losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. He hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They look to throw. It's Locke. Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. This will be caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. From 3 yards out, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Now it's Carson, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, it's Carson, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is up to 8.
as the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line.
The Broncos take
Let's
over
go.
first
Do
and
it.
10 at their own 38-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. On first down, Flacco. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. There he goes, right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski
Different
was an
things for
interception.
different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
Too many
two-syllable word.
syllables, yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half. A first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smarter...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. They'll run on first down. Carson. And how about that for just running out the clock? That one 28 yards on the ground. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Man, let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is
I'm
doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. That's Ziggy Ansah, the number 5 pick in 2013, credited with a sack. After the sack on first down, Flacco, and the pressure gets to him again. Jaron Reed picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down. Went back under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jaron Reed getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Setting up to throw, Flacco. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. Well, it didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play. And they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
I got you. I got you. Check. Crunch. 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 Tighten up. Tighten up. Tighten up. Right here. Right here.
They'll toss it out to Carson. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Carson, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So a bit of a weird kick there. That wasn't an overly long attempt, but that never had a chance.
You almost wonder if he might have maybe got that one on the laces because it kind of knuckled on him a bit. And this one winds up in empty possession.
Block now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Reed. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. Throwing on 2nd and long. Lock. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Flacco. And it is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
From the gun, a give to Penny. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
10 at the 13-yard line.
On first down, Carson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Carson. And he's brought down. 12 yards there on a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
Check 13. Check 13.
Rush in. Rush in.
They'll try to run with Carson. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson taking it in. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay in grip.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Royce Freeman, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Block now to throw. And he finds Hamilton. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. Into the red zone, it's Locke. That is caught at the 7. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. Locke going to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
Check 43.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. On the tackle that time, Shelby Harris.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down.
Set it up, set a tone. Kill.
They'll try the left side. Carson, and he's going to load 1-yard line.
That's where you belong.
That winds up being a... Four-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Coming to you, coming to you.
Throwing here on 1st down, Flacco. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Flacco. Wide open receiver complete. They find some open field here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Tim Patrick, 46 yards. And the Broncos cut into that lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some 1st downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And down to the 29-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before he gets to the Broncos' 29-yard line. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this, taking it right down Broadway. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Bo Scarborough, 29 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. To throw again on 2nd down. Flacco, you got the and a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Now after the sack, Flacco and the Broncos come up 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Joe Flacco. Got a man. He finds Sanders. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Flacco from midfield. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Hurry up.
Once more, it's Flacco. Into the hands of Patrick left side. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
Bring it on. Lock it in. Yellow, yellow.
And again, it's Flacco to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos get a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
This will be caught at about the 5. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Metcalf once again the target, and now it's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over.
silver, he in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands, can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray-Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Put both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver, but I'm still a hot boy. Cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a boss is. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the gang, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Joseph now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Christian Kirksey with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. Here's Beckham. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they take possession. Turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10. 36-yard line.
What's left? Check 25. Check 25. Shoot. Check.
Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, That's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down. To throw is Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12.
First down.
Check. 380. Check. 53. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now. Watch twist. Watch twist. Switch.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. On second and 12, Wilson out to the right. He gets it to Lockett. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Christian Kirksey able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be... Stop just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first. To their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Looking to throw. Miller. And he's going to let it go deep. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 76 yards. And the Browns have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they must feel like they need to steal possessions in this game. That maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They've got to steal it and try and gain an advantage. And they tried. They just didn't get it done.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett. Throwing on second down, Wilson. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
The Seahawks take over first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this run. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Christian Kirksey bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing is Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jannard Avery in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. And he's going to go down again. Myles Garrett. That's now back-to-back sacks, and it brings up 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
53, Mike. Let's go. Check three. There. Go. 53 to Mike. Check 53. It's a party now. Sponge.
Here we go on 4th with Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line. Here's Mayfield running the option right, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. On 2nd down now, Hilliard. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Back to throw. Miller. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team.
The Browns drive about to get started. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Mayfield running the option right, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
A 4-yard loss. It's 4th down.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime preview. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando in this. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead. Not so fast. That pick six really changes the complexion. Probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now. Probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will get them one closer. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Now Miller throwing after the interception. And he's going to let it go deep. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down.
So I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. The 20, 10, 5, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2. They'll try and run it here. And he's going to be hit and taken down in the backfield. Just nowhere to run that time. And the try for 2 is snuffed out. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. On second down, it's Carson, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. The Seahawks on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8.
Check. 53, Mike. Look at 4 down. Check. Good.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Safety creep. Big Ed.
Still got 4 down.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. He's got daylight. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, 79 yards, as his guys are back within a single score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Hurry. King. Check out route.
Mayfield looks to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. He's got him in. Complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. That's caught at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
On 1st down, Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
And we got Mike, number 53. Watch the curve.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Bang, 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 bang. Twist. Left for signal. 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. I'm coming after you. That's. Mike, 53. 53, Mike.
Here's Wilson to throw. That's caught inside the 20. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
Complete to Rashawn Kenny. A gain of 29 yards. And
so even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And Myers able to knock it through. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. This will probably be the last play of the quarter.
It's been a long day for you. Check 31, check 31.
Hey, alert 33.
Final play of the half, Mayfield. Buying time to his left. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Well, we got a second. We remind you that the Madden Championship Series is back and better than ever. August 30th through September 1st, you can watch the top Madden competitors face off at Arlington, Texas for a total prize pool of $190K. Tune in and watch it, twitch.tv/EA Madden NFL, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, August 30th and 31st, and then 10:30 a.m. Eastern on September 1st to see if Skimbo can go back-to-back-to-back as a Madden Classic champion. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Operating from the gun, Stanton. And he's got the hook up to Landry. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And he lost the football. Trying to get it to Landry there.
Earlier we mentioned the Madden Classic Championship. We also want to remind you that registration is underway for the opportunity to represent your favorite NFL club in the Madden NFL Club Championship. 32 of the best Madden competitors in the world will face off in the Club Championship final live from the EA Broadcast Center in December. Register today for a chance to take home a piece of the largest prize pool in MCS history. Folks, over $700,000. Visit MaddenChampionship.com/compete by October 7th and receive a free Team Elite Fantasy Pack.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hurry! Pistol.
To throw, Mayfield. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. That one covers 29 yards. First down. On the ground with a tight end. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
When teams have a tough time running the ball, as this one has throughout this game, it's so easy to just say, forget it, let's throw the football. But that's exactly why you stay with the running game. Eventually, you stick with it, you make some adjustments, you often find ways to run the ball better as the game goes on.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Oh, here we go. Oh.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Caught left side, it's Beckham. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. Now Mayfield on 4th down. And this is caught for a Browns touchdown by Landry. Jarvis Landry there to make the grab. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch. Pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving. Sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. That really sets them back. A loss of 6.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Mayfield to throw it this time. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They run again with Carson. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
We got this.
1st down, Seattle.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On 1st down, Carson. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 18-yard line.
Let's go.
Now a give right side.
It's Carson. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Waiting. Check, check. Not today, you are. Not today.
On third down, Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Terrence Mitchell. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Out of his end zone, Mayfield. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. It got his man complete. A big play that time for Cleveland. 48 yards. Well, big plays back and forth just continue. Both offenses excelling.
And I hear the excitement in your voice while you're calling this game. This hurts my soul as a defensive player, watching these teams go up and down the field and put points on the board.
Do me a favor the rest of the way. Sit back, relax, and just appreciate the offensive dominance that's going on out here.
I'll give it a shot.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Looking to throw. Miller. Eluding the pressure right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 48.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Carson. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 47-yard line.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. Flush to his right. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
And it's 3rd down.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Jannard Avery in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Touch 50, touch 50. That's you. One left. 53's the mic. 53, check 53. Echo. Let's go.
4th down, here's Wilson. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Agreed, that's twice now in this 4th quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A 21-yard touchdown run. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Here's Chubb to try to run it in. And he will dive into the end zone, and the two-point conversion is successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you're looking at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Demarius Randall. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They run again on first down. Chubb. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. They go with Chubb on second down. Tackle coming from the safety, Trey Flowers. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Browns on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Mayfield now. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
4th down, Mayfield. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action. Mayfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Bradley McDougald that time able to knock it away. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game.
100, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist, man, check the wrist, man, got him hot. Hey, man, can't ball like this, man, Lord. Past the pig skin, when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Hey, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she want it like me, cause her lame, she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit up my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God. Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, blue hunts. Whole team counting, that's a big number.
Rick Rock. TikTok. West Hip Hop. Are you ready for some football? Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one, and when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, I get it. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one, and when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard, my team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, now get it. Big Snoop Dogg, it's in the game.
I don't wanna be
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.